Alright everyone, a bunch of people got together in order to compile examples of people who are verified, specifically on Twitter, saying hate-filled things, directed largely at whites and or males, or Christians in a few cases. Usually some combination of those three, and occasionally just people who happen to be straight. And it was the hashtag verified hate, and the idea was to show the hypocritical double standard that Twitter especially, but also big tech in general, employs with regards to policing offensive speech. The idea is that these sites are draconian when it comes to bigotry or mildly offensive or edgy content in general, except when that content is directed at certain groups of people which are not considered, I guess, protected by big tech. Which, by the way, is discriminatory in nature. You can say it's legal all you want. Ideologically, it's a discriminatory practice. I mean, in the most objective sense, it's literally the name of the game. You can claim that it's acceptable legally for that to happen. It would be more difficult for, I think, any liberal to formulate an ethical argument for this to be happening, however. The social Marxists will say it's because it's impossible to be like, you can't be sexist against men or racist against white people. I disagree. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Most people agree that's bullshit. You and your, I guess your, liberal studies major, I think you get taught that or some stupid shit. But then the SPLC started literally tracking the hashtag as like a bigoted term. It was being spread by the wrong people, so it's bigoted. And I was thinking, isn't this a little bit hypocritical that the SPLC would literally be tracking as a hate term, a term that is meant to satirize hate? That's the only purpose of it, is to satirize and expose people who are tacitly endorsed by Twitter. You've got to understand, within regards to Twitter, the verification badge used to mean Twitter is saying you are who you claim to be. You are actually this person, and you are well-known or represent a well-known enough brand, so we're giving you a blue check mark so that your fans, who we assume are going to be generally fairly numerous, know that it's actually you. You represent a company, you represent yourself, and you're famous. You're a rock star, you're a celebrity of some sort. That's what it meant. Months ago, Twitter decided to change that, and verification no longer means that you're relevant. It just means that you are endorsed by Twitter. Your views are considered tame enough for the platform. You are ideologically, you fit in. You're one of the beautiful people. You have the right views politically and socially. Therefore, it basically amounts to an endorsement by Twitter of anyone who is verified, because they check. They check the content. If they're getting complaints about it and they find the person is doing wrong things, they'll take the verification away, even if the person is very famous, even if they are indeed who they say they are. Like, they're never going to verify me on Twitter. I'm shadow banned there. I have wrongthink. Therefore, it was funny. When Jack came out and said, well, Twitter's not going to ban InfoWars because he hasn't broken the rules. No, but you'll shadow ban him. What's the fucking difference? If a person can't actually reach anyone who doesn't already know of their material, and their only growth can happen off-site by people linking to their Twitter so they can interact just with their fans, it's pointless. You're lucky. In the case of somebody like me, though, that only uses Twitter to notify people of uploads primarily and then shitpost, it doesn't really matter. But for InfoWars or, Aldous Watson, someone like that, they're more into the Twitter thing than maybe I am, other than, making mean posts occasionally about authoritarian people. It's funny, because again, the verification badge no longer means you are who you say you are. It means you're being endorsed essentially by Twitter. And so here are these enormous pages of literally hundreds and hundreds of individuals making bigoted comments towards certain unprotected, apparently, groups of people. And they're all verified. Twitter has no problem with it. You try taking any of these comments and switching a single word in virtually all of them, post it on your profile, you'll be banned. You'll be at the very least temporarily banned, possibly permanently suspended. You certainly will lose verification. These people suffer zero repercussions as a result of their bigotry. And they are bigots. They're saying bigoted things. If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. What the fuck? It must be a goose, I guess. No, it's a duck. Now here's the thing. I'll weigh in as the libertarian I am. I don't care if these people say what they're saying. Don't care if they're verified. I don't want them deplatformed. I don't care if they make comments like this all day. But it is still hypocritical, and it is still a massive double standard when a company decides not to police that content despite it being considerably the same as similar content that it will crack down on regularly and gets rid of people for. Therefore, this hashtag is not itself, it's astonishing that the SPLC isn't facing more backlash for attempting to lodge this as a bigoted hashtag when it is quite clearly exposing the hypocrisy of bigots. That's what it's for. But the SPLC, I think there are certain groups of people they notoriously do not appear to give a damn about. And yet they partner with all these big tech firms. It's very funny. They're allowed to, trusted flag things on YouTube. Zuckerberg talks to them all the time. They even had a seat at the table of determining what was or was not fake news. And then they're doing this. This is literally fake, though. The hashtag itself isn't hateful. You can say, well, the accounts that are spreading this hashtag, we think they're like bigots or something. Okay, maybe they are. They're exposing the hypocrisy of policing on bigotry anyway. So it's still a public service. It's a good thing now, isn't it? Now, if the SPLC wanted to eliminate racial hatred, oh, that's right, they don't actually, because otherwise, if they did that, they wouldn't exist. They'd have no point. There'd be no, if there's not enough racism around, the SPLC no longer has a purpose. How are they going to solicit money? How are they going to get donations in order to keep signing the paychecks of their employees if they can't convince people that there's a systemic problem with mass bigotry and violence online, which doesn't exist? There is no such problem. Most of what the SPLC identifies as hate is ironic shitposting. I've seen some of the stuff that their people have spoken about openly, and I can personally vouch for some of it literally being troll and meme. That's all it's meant to be. And it was never a problem online before, it's not a problem now. But in the Trump era, they've managed to con people on the so-called left into believing it's a problem based on the flawed logic that Trump is like he's Orange Hitler or something. So yeah, this hashtag is mocking bigotry. It's just mocking a type of bigotry the SPLC doesn't want you to apparently fixate on. That's the long and short of it. It's not the hashtag itself can't be bigoted. It's talking about how verified users endorsed explicitly by Twitter are hate-filled individuals in some cases and face no repercussions. Literally, you should be congratulating the people that are spreading the hashtag if you work for the SPLC, but they're not going to do that because it's an ideological movement. At this point, it's no longer what it once was, which is, hey, there's racism, there's sexism, there are homophobes, there's political violence in the country, and we look to monitor and look for ways to stop it, basically. Okay, that's what you were many decades ago. Now you complain about people trolling online, as though everything said there wasn't largely satire anyway. That's about all. Peace out.